name's Iain. I've lived in Bristol for 8 years, although I'm from Cambridge, and I've lived in my van for about a year.
And why do you live in your van? Where is it from? What made you actually decide that you don't want to live in a house?
Well, I lived in vans for quite a few years on and off. A few reasons really, like last year was just like paying rent on something so expensive when I could just be living in a van, which cost me, well, just the cost of insurance really. And just the freedom of it, no bills, no kind of weighing down. I can just go off, do my own thing whenever. I like go surfing as well, so always like a good opportunity to just disappear, go and vanish for a few weeks in Cornwall.
And where is your van from? Where did you get it from?
I bought this off a friend in Bristol about 2 years ago, something like that. Since then, I mean, it took me a good year till I could actually do something with it. It was just an empty van, and then slowly over the course of time, I got bits of wood and managed to get a sink and a cooker, and slowly like build it, put it all together, and final bit was like a wood burner went in. So it's kind of come together. It's always going to be an ongoing project, I think. Like, you look at the floor, it's not quite finished yet. It's like run out of cork tiles, but I'll get there.
So have all these bits of wood come from one place?
The kitchen came out of a caravan that was up at one of my friend's farms. He got a caravan given to him, and I went up there and just sort of smashed the side of the caravan off, pulled the kitchen out, and just kind of doctored it a bit and put it into the van. So it cost me about 10 quid for a whole kitchen. Bargain really. I used to work for a recycling company in Bristol. A lot of the wood came from there. I mean, I'd sort of managed to pick up all of the sheets for the walls, all the wood for the bed and the seats. That cupboard came, probably found that in the street, I think, or maybe Free Cycle or Gumtree. And the wood burner I built myself up at my friend's workshop. It's kind of slowly like built over the last year or so, I'd say.
When you first got your van, was there any nostalgic moments that you remember?
I wouldn't say a specific one, but quite a few. I mean, it's been my wingman down in Cornwall, this van. It saved me from the cold quite a few times, and especially after surfing in winter, going down there in like when there's ice on the beach. You just put the wood burner on, go for a surf, and then by the time you come out it's pretty cold, but it's just nice to come back to a nice warm van. And there's been a few times, I mean, sitting on a cliff top down in Gwithian, down in Cornwall, just with my feet up. That was when I had a sofa in here. Like when I first got it, I just found a sofa and just chucked it in the van, and that was like kind of start of it really. And yeah, I was just sat there on the cliff tops with my feet up on the sofa. Just, a couple of friends. Good memories.
What would you say is the best thing about living in your van and the worst thing?
The best thing is, it's mine. I think that's the best thing about it, really. And just having my own place, it's like it's not rented or it doesn't belong to anyone else. It's my own thing. I think that's nice to have. It's like my first true own space, I guess. The downside, the worst thing, I've never had too much trouble in my van. I know a lot of people do get complaints and people having a go at them and police hassling them, but I mean, I can't say I've really had much of that. I mean, I've been lucky, I guess. I think some of that's down to where you park and how respectful you are, I guess. The worst thing I'd say really is probably the cold. In the winter it does get cold, and it's hard to get out of bed at 6-7 in the morning for work when it's freezing cold and pitch black and all your clothes are a bit damp and raw. It's horrible. But I can put up with that for a couple of months of the year, just for the enjoyment of having my own van.